The Bitcoin cavalry is coming to Congress to help the hero who's been holding down the fort all by herself. In fact, Bitcoin magazine features Senator Lummis from Wyoming just recently on a post that was talking about the strategic Bitcoin reserve. It said it's a modest proposal, but has huge upside. So let's bring in Republican Senator from Wyoming, Cynthia Lummis. Senator, first and foremost, listen, I know you love that. You look great, by the way, with laser eyes. Let's talk about the Bitcoin Act of 2024, because the most important thing for a lot of people is establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. On the other hand, though, some people say, why would we need such a thing?
Well, first of all, Charles, I want to compliment you on your newest book. I read it, I loved it, and I recommend it to everybody.
Thank you.
And among the things you raised, Charles, in your book is the importance of having diversified assets, the importance of having some things that are a long-term store of value. And Bitcoin is certainly that. So why Bitcoin would make sense as part of our strategic reserves is that we recognize other long-term stores of value and put them in strategic reserve. We have a gold strategic reserve. We have an oil strategic reserve. I think it is fitting that Bitcoin, now that is really digital gold, be included among our reserve assets. So I'm proposing in the Bitcoin Act that we purchase roughly 200,000 Bitcoin a year just by converting money we already have into Bitcoin and hold them for 20 years. If we did that with, say, 5% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist, which is roughly 1 million Bitcoin, we could cut our debt in half in 20 years. And in the meantime, we would have an asset that's growing in value while our own dollar is decreasing in value. And thereby we could shore up the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. What that does is help us protect ourselves against inflation and protect the US dollar on the world stage.
So you also have here, so that's the Bitcoin purchase program, proof of reserve system. I want to shoot down to the bottom of the list and come back up, because this is something that it seems really critical. Protect Bitcoin property rights, a firm's rights or of self-custody. Talk to us about this, because this is, I think, an area where a lot of individuals in the retail side are concerned about.
It's very important that we protect Bitcoin and people who hold their Bitcoin in individual wallets. We don't want to see this asset become owned only by governments, and certainly don't want to see it controlled by governments, because its great virtue is as freedom money. It is infinitely divisible. It can be used all over the world. It is something that you can send from one person to another at a very low cost and very quickly. Its ability to help bring people out of poverty or into the innovator class and the wealthier class is very exciting. And that's why we want to protect individual property rights in Bitcoin and people's individual wallets.
Right.
There's a phrase, not your keys, not your coin. Your keys are your ability to access your Bitcoin. We want to make